Welcome to Local Riffs. About to give Travis from CHRISTWORM a call in. It's kind of shooting from the hip right now. It's kind of hard to juggle some video, but um, we will make this possible. I thought I had another camera that I could use, but until I guess to make the switch, I'll be talking with the still up. Welcome to episode 11 of season 2. Like I said a little bit a second ago, we're going to be talking with Travis of CHRISTWORM, a band out of Baton Rouge. You know what? I think we're just going to get into it, guys. It'll be a little better when when I actually can see what's going on. I know y'all. All right, sweet. Here we go. Oh, there we go. What's going on, Travis?
Chilling. Hang on one second.
All right.
Let's see. All right.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, can you hear me good?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, you was going to try to use your headphones on there.
Yeah, it was working. I don't know what happened with that.
I was having some issues a little bit earlier with the I mean, I guess Instagram only lets you do a few things to, like, I don't know, like you can't cheat too many times with loading different things of video, audio, music, playing all at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
So welcome to the show, man. I'm actually pretty stoked. I'm a little nervous.
Oh no.
Me and James, a dead set, was talking earlier, and he was going to try to come through and chat with you too, because he's a super huge fan of CHRISTWORM, and I think both of us are actually.
Okay, man.
So yeah, we're live. I'm checking it out. That's why I was kind of like running through, making sure the picture and everything was cool. But welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. If you want, you could tell us a little about yourself and the band and all that. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm Travis. I sing for CHRISTWORM. I used to play drums and sing back in the day, but that was a little too rough. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Like drums and sing at the same time, or
yeah, it was a task for sure.
I see a lot of guys doing that. I think it was a band called, oh man, I can't believe Necromeyer from, I guess, northern Louisiana area. And I would have to say they split the vocals pretty evenly, but the drummer was I mean, he had the whole special mic coming over his head, and just like I was like, holy smoke! But he was rocking it though.
That was my thing, was trying to figure out a mic situation that would be like worth it, I guess, or because I mean, if I was facing forward and I had a mic right here, I'm not looking at the crowd, and it's like if I thought about getting one of those like headset microphone things, I'm just kind of like, nah, I don't think that's
man, you can Garth Brooks it, man.
Be the move there. Yeah.
His looked like one of those sprayers. it was had like a spring and shit on it. It was pretty funny. So yeah, welcome to the show. I'm trying to just work out some jitters. I always kind of get like that on the live streams because it's I don't know if there's a lot of stuff going on this side as far as blinking lights and stuff, but
yeah,
maybe I'll
dude, I'm right there with you, dude.
Yeah, I was checking out some of your band's music today. Spineless and Breeding, that those two songs at the beginning of that album that y'all have is the scene. It's the transition is insane. Me and James, I think the first time I saw y'all was September 16th last year, and I think that was sounding was with y'all as well, and Wasted, and
Yeah.
I think Phallic was there. Anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't even have a clue that y'all's sound even existed. Honestly, that was the first time I ever heard. I would say, sludge doom kind of. I really don't know. It's definitely thick. And I've been hooked on it pretty much since I saw y'all the first time. Matter of fact, I heard about y'all a lot up until that show, and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm missing it. So I checked it out, and I was blown away, just like the other 8 times I've seen y'all. So
Appreciate it.
so y'all out of Baton Rouge. Tell us a little bit about the band and stuff.
Well, we originally, George and I, started out as we were kind of what we're doing right now, 3-piece band. We had our buddy JT played drums for us back then, and it was under a different name, and we started to kind of move towards like the heavier, more doomy type stuff. And then JT came to us. We played one show as a 3-piece under the name CHRISTWORM. And then afterwards, JT was just kind of wanted to focus more on like recording and running live sound and stuff like that, because he was really getting into that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish Moon was still open. He was running sound there. And it was like a mutual thing, like, hell yeah, man, of course, like, by all means. And George and I have always just been able to, like, it's almost like we can go into the room and not say anything and know what is coming next kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And JT was right there with us on that. And after he left, we kind of were just like, well, it's not so much to us of like how great you are at your instrument per se. It's, do I want to spend majority of my time with you
Hanging out?
Yeah, because being in a band is, if you're taking it seriously, that's what it is. You're with those people all the time, always. And yeah, after that we sat down. This is whenever I still drank and partied and shit, and George was, we're just kind of like having a conversation, like, what are we gonna do? And I, in a previous band years back, had played one show doing vocals and drums, and I was like, oh, I could totally do that. Like, let's just be a 2-piece. Like, fuck it, man, we'll just do it like that. And the next day, George was like, I found a drum set. Let's go get it. Shit. And then, yeah, the next thing I know, for the next 8 years, probably, that's what we were doing. Just 2-piece road dogging as hard as we could.
And that's how long CHRISTWORM's been a band? Is 8 years?
Now, probably more 11.
Okay.
Probably coming up on like 12, maybe.
Congrats on that, for sure.
Yeah.
I know y'all went through a drummer change recently.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was pretty much all the original members from the get-go.
Yeah, majority of pretty much all, except for one show under this name in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been just me and George. And then I just kind of can't do both anymore. Like, I'm getting older. My body is hurting. It's just, I love playing drums. I could totally give 100% to drums, but like, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to just give 100% to that. I can't do both. And I don't want to, like, I feel like if I cut back on one or the other or both, I'm like taking away from somebody. Like, I don't know. I'd rather just give everything that I have to one
thing. Yeah. Well, you don't want to leave nothing on the table, especially when it comes to like that chemistry that you're talking about with, being around people. You don't want to have too much stuff on your plate, especially when there's other people to handle the task, I guess, that respectively. Yeah. That's pretty impressive as far as the age of the band. I can't believe I hadn't seen y'all sooner, but I did a little more research over the week, and I'd seen y'all. Well, I know y'all went on a little tour a little while back. Y'all was up in I guess it was Tennessee, and did y'all go to Ohio or something? Or
We went up to Indiana. I think was the highest. Yeah, the Ohio show fell through the day before Classic. But yeah, just a little heads up for anybody: if you're communicating with promoters over the internet and all they're doing is liking your messages and not responding back, don't be surprised if your shit falls through.
Yeah, you gotta definitely make communications. I found that out the hard way too, through some things, but you know they fix themselves sometimes. But y'all hear that out there? Pay attention to what y'all do, man. You won't waste no money or time. So I see y'all's newest releases was that False Tongues.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Oh, I see it was from 2022. I think that's James's favorite song. Mine is the first three of that whole of that album. I consider it like just one blend. It's so fucking good. As y'all in the works of making anything, releasing anything soon or this year, or y'all working on things?
Yeah, we have a couple of songs that we're still kind of messing with and finishing up recording. Those will probably be releases, just some singles while we're writing new stuff. We plan on having a new record written and recorded. We actually played a new song that we just wrote for the first time this past weekend, and it went over pretty well. So I think we're kind of moving in the right direction.
What show? Was that the Nest show?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw y'all at Siberia with Nest. That was an insane show. I just love that music, man. I didn't even know your boy from Sounding was in the band. I think he was I guess filling in the drummer, or he started with them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and Joe and T-Money are both I think they're full members of the band now.
Well, they definitely hit it because I saw Nest Instagram. It seems like it was just one person,
Yeah,
picture.
I believe his name's John.
Mm-hmm.
He's the brain behind all of it. That's his thing. But I'm pretty sure, up to my knowing, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Joe and T-Money, they're full band members now.
Well, after that show in New Orleans, they definitely need to at least try it for a little while because it really worked out for them for sure.
Yeah, no, they fucking ripped, dude.
Yeah, that was a really good show. And I've seen y'all a few times. And I'm trying to recollect each individual show. I know the most memorable for me was the Brat show and Decoy at Chelsea's this year.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Yeah, that one still holds the place of the #1 show so far for me this year. Yeah, it's the Brat show in New Orleans was close and it was great, but that fucking Chelsea's live show, dude, all of those Louisiana bands, it was a packed house. It was, I don't know, that was a very good show.
Yeah, I was very proud of this city for that night. That was a good turnout, especially I think that was like a Wednesday night too.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't a weekend. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a Wednesday. You couldn't tell though, because that place was popping, man.
Dude, they're doing great stuff over there. Chelsea's I feel like I've yet to see a show where there's less than 100 people there.
And that's what I try to tell people that because I get a lot of followers that ask questions about promoting and booking and stuff for down here. I really don't have too much of a clue, I guess, just because I guess because I show all of the little places I go to or whatever, and but that place is definitely worth checking out if you're a touring act or coming across the state or something like that. Chelsea's Live definitely, and you're right, it's always got something going on there that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big venue too. I mean, I don't think it's as big as Southport Hall, but I mean it's pretty close to that place.
want to say the capacity is like 700, I believe. And I've been to a couple of shows where, sorry if you hear my daughter
Oh,
being
that's no
crazy
worries.
in the back. But I've been to a couple of shows there where I was like, there's no way there's no way this isn't sold out. And they're like, no, we still got room for like, I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like,
I might be exaggerating, but I'd have to say there was at least 250 to 300 people at that fucking Brat CHRISTWORM
oh yeah,
decoy.
no, yeah.
Easily, man. That place was jumping, man.
Yeah, that was nuts, dude. We've played a few shows there that have been like, you'd get there and you're starting to see people pulling in and people hanging out and stuff, and like you're like, all right, yeah, we got a good crowd, but like you really don't realize how many people there until you're up on the stage and like you get out there and it's like, whoa, holy shit, bud, like, eesh,
I, I was moshing, of course, and I got like my phone got slapped out of my hand and it went behind George's amp, man. It was like I had to hop on stage to get my damn phone. It was still shooting the live and stuff, but
Hell
yeah, it was really really fun that night. And y'all are from Baton Rouge, collectively, right?
yeah.
And talking about Chelsea's and stuff. How do you see the scene in Baton Rouge as far as I don't want to say comparative to New Orleans, but I mean it's a pretty active scene over there. There's a lot of bands, like they have their own group of 20 or so bands that continuously make runs around there. I mean, so is that something that's just started happening, or has that been going on over there?
Yes and no. I'm not originally from here. I moved here whenever I was 17, and I grew up in a small town in Mississippi. I was at the age where I was like, fuck this place. I hate this place. There's nothing for me here. And there really, truly, like, honestly, was not anything for me there. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a redneck. I love redneck shit. I love, shooting guns, getting dirty, riding four-wheelers, like,
Say it. Say
the whole
wrestling.
nine.
Say wrestling, man.
Oh, dude, all
I know you're.
all, bro, all day.
It says wrestling. What'd your shirt say? It says something about wrestling is not fake or
Pro
something.
wrestling, real, God is fake. Yeah, dude. No, that's but I mean, for me, like, I played sports whenever I was younger, like here and there, but I got into skateboarding before I got into music. Like, skateboarding was kind of like my ushering into music. Like, I learned a lot of the bands that I listen to still to this day come from, skate video soundtracks or this or that. And so, yeah, I mean, in that town, me and my small group of friends, we were, the fucking weirdos.
The skaters.
And everybody, like, yeah, talking shit. The classic story, but like in a small town, it's like fucking, I don't know, like just, it's so much more intense. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we used to get chased, like, people would like chase, like Forrest Gump scene, like chasing us in the truck just because we skateboard.
Yeah, or look different, or didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that kind of stuff happen to some of my friends. Like, well, I heard those stories too, and sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and get out of there, man. I mean, it's either that or you're gonna say fuck it and stay. It'll be the same shit.
Fucking hate it. Yeah, but no, to go back. Sorry, I got off.
Oh, no worries.
For a second. But it's kind of. I mean, it has to do a lot with the college. Really, is like some years. I remember when I first moved here. We had a all ages venue on Florida called the Dark Room, and you could go there any night of the week, and it would be packed. Like the band I played in at the time, I feel like we were like a fucking house band for that venue. Like, we played there every weekend, and it was crazy packed every weekend. Nuts. Like, one of the shows that like people in bands remember forever. And then it was just like one day it stopped, and I was like, everybody else was just like, business as usual, and I'm like new to it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What happened? Like, last week there was all this and that, and they're like, oh, well, school let out. And then
Oh,
when
okay.
school starts back, you get like a new crop of kids, and they might be more so into like the indie scene or like college rock kind of scene.
Mm-hmm.
So the heavier scene kind of dies out a little bit, but it's just a ebb and flow. Like it goes away for a few years, but then it comes back even stronger, I feel like. And right now, I feel like Baton Rouge is like, especially our like heavy music scene
Mm-hmm.
is really on top. And I'm not a fan of this city most of the time. So for me to say that, yeah, I think we're knocking it out of the park lately.
I have to agree with you because I mean I try to keep up with as much as and many bands as I can from a lot of different places, but of course I kind of gotta focus up on Louisiana first and foremost because that's where to me that's where the super hitters are coming out of, man. I mean there's so many good bands in Louisiana right now
Yeah.
with their own uh, brand instead of just genre trending or somebody said something like that before on the show, but uh I
I know
think
you're like that's definitely something I mean that genre trending, like there's a major lack of like self-identification
mhm.
in the music scene, I feel like. I'll probably catch shit for saying this, but like maybe I sound old, but dude, every fucking band sounds the same. Like they sound great and they're great at what they're doing, you know what I mean? But like I feel like no one really tries to just do like their thing. Like of course have your influences and let your influences show in the kind of music you play, but like play your music if that makes sense at all. Like I don't know, there's just a lot of oh, Trevor Strand from Black Dahlia Murder. I remember whenever I was in high school, I got their Majesty DVD, and it's like music videos, live sets, and then there's a tour documentary, and there's like the scene where he's just like laying in the van, fucking high as giraffe ass, talking about how metal vocalists are kind of like it's just getting more to like Cookie Monster sounds, and then he's like he makes the joke like pretty soon metal vocals are just gonna sound like farts and this and that, and like dude, they kind of do sometimes. Like they sound like, and not in a bad way. Like it's impressive that people can do that stuff, but like
And still
I don't know.
pronunciate.
Yeah, no, that's like when you can do that and I can understand what you're saying, like that's fucking incredible. Because all I'm doing most of the time is just getting mad, and I sound like I'm just like Courage the Cowardly Dog or some shit. Like,
Nah, I totally get what you're saying because and me and shit, we're having a conversation now about it, but I have this conversation a lot with um the bands aren't bad. I mean, I've seen tons of very good bands actually, a lot better than some mainstream bands, to be blunt about it. But I think that when you say, they're just it's just a genre thing. I mean, I think that if you like you're saying with the self identity and you can get out there and just express yourself through the music, it'll become something on its own. However it's going to sound, and if it doesn't cut through, all the rest of the uh, genres or whatever, then that might just be how it's supposed to be. But I me and I bring James up again. Me and him, we were talking about this. I think it was at that Guts Club show. Um, it's it does take a certain ear to listen to some of those bands, or they might be experimental or however you want to put it. But like with y'all's music, for instance, me and there's it's hard to grasp for some people, in my opinion, because it's just how it's not like something else, and a lot of people like it didn't even have to grow on me. It was just I was like, oh fuck.
yeah,
and and you can actually find bands that try something, I would say similar, but it's not even remotely close, you know. And it goes into that whatever genre that they're trying to squeeze into, you know, whatever core or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But you know, not knocking any bands. I'll take some shit with you, man. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, dude, honestly, it really is just like, I mean, whenever I was coming up, like you could hear a Lamb of God song and know that that was a Lamb of God song. You could hear a Pantera song and know that that's a Pantera song. Nowadays, a lot of like these bands, it's like, oh, damn, this is crazy as hell. This is, you know, awesome. It sounds great. And then you'll hear another song and you're like, yo, what band is this? Like the past few songs have been great. And then you find out it's 3 different bands and it's like, well, shit. Like,
exactly.
at that point, I'm just kind of lost, you know?
You hear the like, one different sounding song.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I don't know. It's, I guess I just sound like a grumpy old man, but like I just miss the days of being able to like identify a band by like as soon as the vocalist opens their mouth, or as soon as like you hear the tone of the drums or the guitar or something like. And I feel like that part of making music is getting lost sometimes.
I think the creating of it from the emotion or from the want to make music instead of just making music for, hey, I make music. Yeah. I think that's where the disconnect is, and you can see it in some of those other bands that, you know, they do have that I guess lack of confidence to or courage to express themselves the way they want to, and that's why I like, you know, a lot of these local bands. I haven't really listened to no mainstream bands since, you know, local Riffs. And that's just because it irks me almost to a sense to where it's like, you know, I want to hear the, you know, more original stuff instead of just the same old stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, most certainly. And I'm a big like lyrical content person. And like, I love good storytelling. I love this, I love that. But like, for me personally, like, I listen to a lot of like, you know, MCs, like a lot of like older hip hop where it's like telling real stories about like how, like what's actually going on in that moment. And I like a lot of like older country music, and like I like a lot of indie music. I like music that if I can sit down and listen to what you're saying, or just how the music sounds with what you're saying, if I can like sit there and go where I need to go because of what you're playing, then that is music to me. And that's what I try to convey in our band as much as I could possibly do. Because I mean, most of the time I try to keep a lot of stuff to myself, so that's like my time to let it all out. And if I'm just gonna go to a place, and I'm gonna bring you with me whether you want to come or not.
We got a question in the chat that says, we got 2 actually from Lola De Nola. They want to know about the songwriting process for CHRISTWORM, and then I'll get to the second one if you want to take it one at a time.
I mean, as far as, it's always been me and George, the guitar player. It's always been us two back and forth. I play guitar a lot. I mean, he's like a riff machine. And like sometimes it takes us a while. I'm not gonna lie. We've been known to be, you know, take our time writing music, but like, I don't want to put something out that is less than how I feel, I guess. Like, I want it to be able to convey the message of the song sonically. Like, if you take the vocals away, you take everything away from it. I want you to be able to feel what that song is about without needing to hear lyrics or needing to hear vocals. And yeah, as far as like lyrics go, like I made it a point with this band to write specifically about my thoughts on certain subjects, my feelings on just like life itself. Like I struggle with a lot of depression and anxiety and stuff. A lot of people do. Like I've been medicated, tried a lot of stuff. I've dealt with like self-harm and shit in the past. So like stuff like that is I could write about the dead coming out of the ground and taking over the world, or I could write, you know, a song about fucking ripping wizards or whatever. But like there's literally, I kind of just got to the point where like there's nothing heavier than what your feelings are on specific things. So they're very personal to me. They're just wrapped up in metaphor, so you can make it whatever you want.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. And their other question was, which I was gonna ask was, you know, where does the inspiration come from? And I think you kind of much summed it up a little bit. But I mean, if there's something else you want to elaborate on as far as inspiration for the music,
I mean, dude, we live in a time now where you really don't have to look far. You can just look up from your cell phone and see everything.
You talk about you talk about look up from the cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of like great stuff that happens all around us all the time, but there's far more just like, at least to me, in my opinion, like just wacky shit, man. Like people are fucking horrible little creatures, dude. Like, and that's not saying like I'm some fucking saint, because I'm not. There might be people watching this right now that knew me 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, this motherfucker right here was a piece of shit. And I totally was. I was not a good person. But you know, starting to notice those things about myself and really not liking myself made it kind of easier to write a lot of the stuff that I write. Like it's easier for me to, like, I can write a song that other people like, Spineless, for instance. Like, don't get me wrong, that song is totally about someone, for sure. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but like, I also can look at that song as a reflection of myself, because like, you know, there's all these people that like say these specific things and they condemn other people like they're so fucking like high and mighty and, you know, holy, like you're condemning people from your cross, you know. But like in reality, you take your mask off and I mean you're that person. You are what you hate. So reality is that's
perfect inspiration.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally can relate to you on all of that, man. And I think that's why, like me personally, like when I'm listening to y'all, or when I go to this different show, especially when I came to that last show that y'all had, I've been, you know, dealing with some things, and I think that's why I like listening to y'all's music so much, is because I can feel that kind of connection to where it's just like, it's just backed by the emotion. And I think what you're saying with the heaviness of it, I mean, first of all, the sound and tone collectively of the band just is a fucking 10 million pound I mean, it's heavy. When that sound's going off, it just fills the whole room. But also, I think you just hit it on the head with the heaviness comes from just put it out how you want to get it across to the listener, or just getting it out, period. You know what I mean? Even if no one's listening, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I mean, you know, it does give you a vent some way. And I could tell that through those songs. Yeah, I think y'all are sick. I'm actually fanboying right now. Sorry, don't mind me. And I'm trying to like take care of chats and stuff. What was I going to ask? James wanted me to ask. Oh, he wanted me to ask, the timing and the way y'all write, and I'm gonna kind of add to it. I think this is where he was kind of getting at, but like, isn't I don't want to get it wrong here. And I'm going somewhere. The Breeding Weakness song, is that an 8-minute song? Like over 8 minutes? I think we wanted to know is like, how, when y'all are writing that, how do y'all, I mean, y'all just, that's a huge emotion coming out for that long, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of wondering, how do y'all remember how do y'all remember how to play that? You know, and it sounds good every time because I've heard the song multiple times live. Is that just like, you know, knowing the instrument, or is that how much the music, you know, that y'all write means to y'all, is to you know, complete it like y'all composed it?
So if at least I can, for that, like the Breeding Weakness record, that was whenever I was still playing drums and singing.
Okay.
So for me personally, I knew how the vocals were gonna go. I knew how the melody was. I knew what the lyrics were, all that stuff. Writing it, I would pretty much get like a solid skeletal idea of what I was going to play. And then once we go and record it, however it's recorded, that's how it's played forever after that. That's the song. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of like, even like playing the song live before, you know, you record it kind of thing, it's almost like a soft opening. You know what I mean? Like, you're, okay, we'll play it. I'm going to play the song, and I'm going to try this thing that I've been wanting to do, and we'll see how that goes over. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, say it's like a little drum fill, and you hit a little drum fill, and while you're playing it, you hear fucking Joe in the background or something with a woo! You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, all right, that's good.
Staying.
Yeah. So, but realistically, what happened was, like, we've always said, like, the song's done when it's done. Like, and we never, like, really keep adding. It was more so just like, okay, well, that sounds like a good stopping point. And a lot of the times we would have two completely separate songs, and be like, well, we could just put them together. And that's what we ended up doing originally. Our first release that we did was 2 songs, and it's like 25 minutes, I think. And that release was just 4 songs that kind of all went together. So we just put them together and threw some noise in there, make it flow through like that.
So I have to ask this also, because I have seen, and I really don't know the reasoning behind it, or what. So when you're singing and you have, I mean, that's pedal board that you have right there, right? Is that running? Yeah. Your microphone's running through that? And
no, it's just for like samples and like
okay,
noise.
yeah, okay. So you,
like, a lot of it you can turn on. I have like an oscillating pedal, like a self-oscillating pedal. So if I want, I can just turn that on, and that'll just like make some crazy ass sounds. And there's all kinds of switches and knobs to like fuck with the tone of it. And the other stuff, my friend Ryan, he has his own little like DIY pedal company out of Baton Rouge called Vertigo Noise. And he might be in the chat. Just hit me up and be like, hey, I have this thing. It's a kind of a clone of this mixed with a little bit of that. Like, you want to try it out? So me and him, I love like experimental music and like noise and stuff like that, and just like weird musicians. Like, I'm a big fan of Bjork. I love everything that woman does. But he's helped me a lot to like kind of understand more that aspect of it. And like, because I don't know dick about music, dude. Like, I play music. I am not a musician. Like, I don't
That sounds just like me. Not a musician at all.
Yeah, I can play okay-ish, you know what I'm saying? But like, dude, whenever I played drums, like, I didn't know if you would have been like, what kind of cymbals do you play? I'm just loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the difference between brilliant, dark, this, that, dry, whatever. I didn't know how to tune my drums. I would just put my finger in the middle and tighten the wrinkles out, and then
that'd be good.
yeah, straight up, dude. Like, so he's helped me a lot with more so like understanding as far as like the noise stuff and like building sounds, kind of the direction that I would need to go in.
So I guess the other, well, yeah, there was a band from Indiana I've seen one time, and I know Sounding, their vocalist, his pedal board's pretty large though.
That thing's crazy, dude.
Hey,
that thing's like a fucking minivan.
It is. Hey, but I that's what I was trying, because I'd seen something, I guess, remotely quick or relatively quick online or whatever, and I really didn't really think about it. And then I started seeing, I saw, you have the pedal board. I saw the guy from Sounding. There was another band from Indiana that came down here. Another band, they had a guy that was working a pedal board. He wasn't the vocalist, but he had all kind of stuff going on over there, and but it wasn't a guitar. And I was just wondering, because I just didn't know what was the process of using that, through a microphone or just having it rigged.
I do it because I am a fucking nervous Nelly, dude. I am like,
you gotta fidget with something, man.
I just don't have like good social skills. I feel like at least like in public, like over the phone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
But like, I don't know. I'm very like socially. A lot of people think that I'm a dickhead. I'm sure, because I don't talk a lot usually. Like, I'm not. I was telling my mom this yesterday. I was like, I'm not friendly. Like, I'm nice, and I will totally talk to someone, but I'm not friendly in the sense of like, I'm not usually the one to strike up the conversation. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm like a dick. It's literally like, I am nervous as fuck, dude. So for me, it keeps it to where I don't have to say anything. There has to be no banter. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of, for me, it's,
I love it.
Hey, what's up? And then at the end, it's like, thanks for CHRISTWORM. And that's like about as much as you're going to get.
I remember that next time. Like, he's just, tip your bartender. So,
yeah.
That's great, man. I love that, man.
Like, I don't know, man. But we've always, and me and George both agree, it's like, dude, no one wants to hear your jokes in between songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, play your song, dude. That's why we're here. Like, there's just I've seen a lot of bands that do the banter, and it's like,
and it kind of loses something during that, to me,
There's nothing wrong with banter. I've seen plenty of bands that do it and they're fucking hilarious, or like, it's the banter may be something about like, here's some like knowledge on this next song. That's like the shit that I could totally get down with. But like, dude, I don't want to see half a stand-up set and then half of your band play. Like, I came to see your band play, dude.
Oh my god.
So that was another big thing, was no dead air. We didn't want any of that. So, and it just progressed more and more to now George does loops and noise, and I do. We've kind of been in talks about maybe actually for this next release doing like a full like noise track, like with all of us, like me building sounds, George building sounds, vocals, some kind of drum beat over the, over it, just to kind of break the mold. Like, I don't know.
That would be sick. That would be insane, especially with, making it CHRISTWORM. Oh yeah, hell yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say the newer stuff we're about to put out is a lot angrier, I would say.
Angrier, like, okay.
Because a lot of the stuff we're playing now, like musically, sure it's angry, but like lyrically it's more on the, like there's a lot of songs about regret, and there's a lot of songs about, you know, like just kind of not really wanting to deal with it
Mm-hmm.
anymore kind of thing. And like there's personal songs for me. um but yeah, this is, I've kind of been fed up with a lot of stuff lately, so I'd say our newer stuff is about to be a lot angrier than the older stuff.
You know, on the same side of the coin with you know, looking up and finding inspiration in a lot of places. You can look up and get pissed off at a lot of things too nowadays.
Dude, every day, bro, every day, every day I am blown away by how dumb people are, by like the simplest shit too, like not
It
even,
don't take much.
no. When people, as my dad used to say, like people are just like ate up with dumbass, dude. Like it's insane. How they've made it this far
It's
is incredible, dude.
we he me personally, I like to try to find the good in everyone, and you know, and
Oh
see where
yeah, I'll give it a
and see
college
where that
try.
takes it. You know, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
um,
I'll give it a college try. You know.
and you know, in my everyday life, and trying to like squeeze as much music stuff, because I mean, this is, I guess this would be my band. You know, the kind of passion I have towards it, and doing, you know, the
Dude, we
podcast and
need,
stuff.
it's incredible. Like what you're doing is a beautiful thing, dude. Like I feel like
Thanks.
stuff like this, especially nowadays, like in the time that we're in, like, and with how big podcasts have gotten and stuff, like we need more, we need just as many podcasts that shine a light on bands as we do bands. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. I more like look at it like, I don't think that it takes as much what other famous people or people that want to be famous. You know, I think it's, if you stay on this kind of like plane mentally, that I think you can get a lot more out of what you're trying to achieve, instead of having to look, you know, get blinded by money or fame or just ego.
yeah,
Ego blinds people a lot too. And you know, with me doing this, it's, to me it's still ghetto as fuck. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I like the
dude,
griminess.
fuck that.
I like the gutterness of it. I like the uncut, and you know, the version of how I like to try to like let people see it. And that's like when I go to y'all shows, man. I wouldn't care, you know, what the situation is. I'm trying to make it to where another person can kind of see that, and it might help them out some kind of way in their life, you know. And
No, absolutely, dude. If that's, honestly, man, like getting, for me, getting money from it, or you know, the ever so popular getting
the
signed
signed,
and
okay, there we go. Now
all that
we're on the
stuff,
same page. Yes.
like, dude, I don't give a shit about none of that. Like, fuck a Spotify stream. Like, honestly, dude, I don't do this for anybody else but myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is my thing. This is my paint and my paintbrush. This is my gun and my target. This is my, you know, this is my gloves and my heavy bag, dude. This is my weight bench. This is my journal. I'm, and it scares me to do stuff like to put myself out there. So like, and I guess in such a vulnerable state, because there's some times where we play shows where I'm not in a good place. I'm having a terrible time in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to do with like anything involving like, you know, my band or my friends or my
Mm-hmm.
family. It's just brain don't work good kind of situation, you know?
I totally relate.
And you know, it's almost like I feel like I'm about to have like a mental breakdown while we're playing, and it's that, and when it's done it makes me feel 1,000 times better. And I'm nervous as fuck before we play. I'm nervous as fuck after we play, because it's just kind of like a, man, I don't want people to see me like this. And then after we play, it's like, oh man, I just let people see me like that. Like, what the fuck, you know? I hope no one's gonna like be like, oh, what a fucking weirdo or this or that or the other. But like, dude, the
Fuck 'em.
day that oh, for sure, and the day that like that goes away is the day that I'll stop because
You either
it's not
solve the
worth
problem or it's not working anymore.
it's not worth doing
Okay,
anymore.
yep.
Like, dude, if I'm getting in front of a room of say 100 strangers and I'm just cool as a cucumber, not a care in the world, fucking whatever, like I'm done, bro. Like because at that point I feel like I'm taking away from the people that do care
Mm-hmm.
and the people that it does mean something to. Like I want this. I guess I do kind of do it for other people too, but in a sense of like, if it can help you even like a molecule as much as it helps me, then I feel like I'm doing what I should be doing.
I like that how you put that. That's and that's just giving some good back, in my opinion. Either on, like trying to, I don't, not trying to like make people feel the music, but like you were saying, if it's good music, or if it's music that's you know that you can relate to or feel or anything, it don't have to be screaming. It can be light listening. The lyrics can be soothing. Just whatever touches, it makes you feel better about yourself. I I mosh a lot when I'm at y'all's shows, and I think that's my way of of getting it all out. But I feel the emotions, and that's how I react. From my contribution to it. But I appreciate it because, like I said, the last time I saw you, I definitely needed some not thinking about the same old shit all the time. You know what I mean? Or seeing the same stuff. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, thank you. I'm glad that makes me like, that is, hearing that from one person is better than playing a show in front of 1,000 people, man. Because like that's what it is about. Like it does this for me, and I hope that whether it just be from the experience or maybe someone read a line from a song or whatever, like as long as it's doing anything for someone, if it's like if you need to get fucking pissed off and it makes you pissed off, then that's what it is. If you're going through a tough time and it helps you like kind of come out of it, because like, dude, there's plenty of people all over the world, you walk past them every day, that like are dealing with far worse shit sometimes, and they're still out there doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to crawl up into a fucking hole sometimes, but like, I mean, for me, that's why I'm glad I have my daughter now, because like, it's impossible to be upset all the time when you've got that little creature running around, dude. She's,
Well,
I
man,
mean,
I don't think you have time to be upset. I think you just like
no way, no way. Like and also though, like sometimes it's like with having a kid, it's like I am happy a lot more than I normally would be. So it's like, shit, man, am I gonna be able to like be pissed off and like write some music?
like, man, we gotta go down a different track, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. I like that outlook, man. Like I said, I think that's what I look for in my quest, thus far, is that, how does that music, no matter, because I mean I try to cover a lot of different genres, and just to check out the experience of, if the music, does that for me in every aspect of music. I've been in some just string stuff. I've been in some mariachi stuff, raves, death punk, and
Mm.
it all, affects me different ways. But I think that's the good thing is I can determine, if this music is for me or not, or it might be for somebody else, because it ain't about me at all. It's about getting it out there for somebody else to listen to, and experiencing or discovering. But I really like that outlook, because like I said, if if it makes one person feel better, then at least you've done some good, something positive, and give back instead of having to get the same old brown paper bag back. So
it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with a lot of bands like sounding the same or whatever, is like it gives your art purpose. It gives your art like more meaning than what you have for your art. Like with what you're doing, for instance, like there's probably like plenty of people out there that may watch this or are watching this that have never heard of us, seen us, nothing, don't even know we exist, and now they do.
Now they do.
You know what I mean? So like that's what I was saying with like we need podcasts and like zines, and like I'm starting to notice so many more people showing up to shows with actual cameras and doing like live photography. Like, dude, whenever I was coming up, it looked like a fucking red carpet when any band was playing, dude. There's just flashes going off. Yeah, dude. Like, and everyone had like sick fucking photos. Like, and now, and that's very important, especially like, and with how big social media plays into whatever your career is going to be and whatever you're doing. Like, you have sick fucking photos of you playing a show and it's crazy. Like, people are going to be like, damn, look how cool this photo looks of this crazy ass fucking show. I need to go to that. You know what I mean? Like,
y'all need to check out some CHRISTWORM shows if that's how y'all feel. And then
yeah, dude, please do.
I guess that'll get us into our next question about about any kind of upcoming events or shows. I know y'all got a few things coming up. Over the summer.
We have June 9th here in Baton Rouge, actually, which this is one that I'm really excited about because my daughter will get to come see her first show. We are playing at the library in Baton Rouge. That is not a venue. We are playing at the library, like where you rent books and whatnot. That's going to be a blast. I'm super stoked for that. That is June 9th. It's a Sunday. And then it's also kind of like a little teaser to like maybe some people in the community that don't know about the Set It Off Fest on the 15th. And that is kind of like a, hey, here's a taste of some bands that are going to be on this fest. And then the next one would be that. And then at the end of June, we're doing a 3-day run with Pale Misery from Lafayette.
What was that last one? I think you went into robot mode.
Oh, sorry. The last, we have a 3-day run with Pale Misery from Lafayette at the end of June.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at earlier. Yeah, Muscle was telling me about this show at the library when I saw them. I think I saw them like 2 weeks ago or something, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that's what they were saying. I was like, no, it's not. It's not a venue. It's literally the library. Yeah, that seems like a glacial coffin.
It's gonna be a ripper, dude.
Fucking Set It Off Fest is gonna be a ripper. That's for sure too.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be outrageous. I hope everyone's not too tired when we play. I hope that's
it's gonna be a long day. I plan on going to a rave afterwards.
I'm gonna have to get more amped just to bring everybody back, I guess, dude. It's gonna be a tough day.
It's gonna be a real tough day. But I will say this: that's first class stuff over there, man. Because they really got that thing together. That's the I'm trying to, and I'll be trying to like compare that list or any kind of list formidable to that in other like different scenes and see how dude, that's a fucking stacked house right there, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, between all over Louisiana for sure, but between like Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, like it's just stacked, bro. And I'm so glad that like everything that Capra's doing is amazing. Everything that Brat is doing is amazing. And I mean, we can only go up from here. I feel like Louisiana has been one of the most overlooked states as far as like metal music goes, or aggressive music in any form, really. Uh, we've definitely been overlooked for quite some time because, dude, there's bands that I've seen over the past, like, I think I've lived in Baton Rouge now for almost like Jesus Christ, 17 years. Uh, and I mean, dude, there's bands that I see that I'm like, how the fuck are you guys not signed? Like, how are y'all not on tour constantly? Like, what is
and there's
what is happening
there's a
here?
lot of bands. You're right,
I mean,
from the state that
you
is
can
just
see it with tour. There's
you're breaking up.
so many shows that come through here and skip.
Hello. Oh, looks like we lost you, Travis. Who should be back? I have to say a formal goodbye to him before we can't go out there like that. What is the set list for the library? We got CHRISTWORM, Glacial Coffin Muscle, Reptilian War Machine at the library. That's Plaza Main Library at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Nola Di Nola. I think our stream is still going. Just kind of bear with us a little bit, and I'm gonna give Travis a call back.
We're back.
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, he said he's gonna.
Terrible.
Yeah, we got him back. Yeah, that's one thing that was I was so drove when I first started this live stream stuff, man. It was like, hold on one second. There we go. I couldn't never get a fucking internet connection nowheres, or it wasn't good, or it was always blocky and shit. And this one day I was like, let me try my hotspot, and it was like fucking crystal clear at the Howlin' Wolf. I was like, holy shit, man. It was like the best ever. Yeah, we didn't disconnect from YouTube or anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we looking good though, man. We'll probably wrap it up here in a few minutes. It's been going good, man. I really appreciate you coming on and epping it with me.
Appreciate you having me.
And let's say we went through the shows. We was talking about Set It Off, and he was blown away by multiple bands not being signed yet and in the state. I mean, so that I'm agreeing with you on that. But if you wanna tell the listeners, or the viewers, how they can reach y'all like CHRISTWORM, and if you want to let them know anything else for the future, just let them know.
Well, luckily, I'm pretty sure we're the only thing on earth called CHRISTWORM. So if you type it into Google, it just brings up everything. We got Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, on Apple Music, YouTube, all kinds of stuff. And if you plan on starting a band, just do it for yourself first, and be genuine about it, and be as real as you can.
That's another thing, too. They got a lot of new bands coming out too.
So yeah, dude, and they fucking rip, bro. Like,
killer.
There's this band, Void from Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
All younger dude. Like, it is like just a straight up throwback to like 80s thrash, dude. Like everything from like the look.
Yeah, I saw with the belts and everything. Yeah, they got the guitars and everything. Like,
God, it's fucking sick. I'm super down for that. That shit's so awesome, man.
And man, there's a lot of good bands starting to come out too, and that's good advice. Just do it. Just do it for yourself and do it for the love of, being able to do it.
Everything else will come if it's meant to. I mean, dude, we've been like 11 years, and it's only within the past few years gotten to the point where we're kind of can like make some money if we go out on tour, or, this or that. Like, don't give up just because it didn't happen as much or as fast as you wanted it to. And also build your scene up in your hometown and then never play it again for a couple years. Go play everywhere. Dude, I see people just wearing the dog shit out of their hometown. It's just like, bro.
You ain't joking. That's why I kind of try to like go somewhere else myself, but
Yeah. Get them where they want more and then stop. And only play it a couple times a year, dude. And I'm telling you,
they'll come back.
That's the key right there.
Well, I guess I'm going to hit you with one more question, man. What's your favorite pizza toppings? I have to get that in there.
Mine, dude, I'm really up for anything, but like something that I really just love is sausage and peppers, man. Sauce, peppers,
like green peppers?
Yeah. And dude, I could eat just a cheese pizza with banana peppers on it all day long.
Nice and sweet and simple, right?
Oh yeah, a little bit of tang.
Well, Travis, I want to thank you again, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready to end it. I don't want to have another disconnect or anything. I want to say thank you again because I know we talked about this, I think, at the Chelsea live show about trying to get you on. Hopefully next time we can get the rest of the band, maybe come in studio or something. It's pretty good quality here. I just it's a little different when we're in here and we sit back and chilling. But hopefully that can come one day. But for now, I do appreciate you coming onto the show because you're one of my CHRISTWORM is one of my favorite bands. Period.
Thanks, man.
Not just locals, because I find that music, I don't like just listen to it because everybody else is. If it's something that nobody's ever heard of before, and I'm the only person listening to it, so I mean I'm cool with it, But y'all are definitely one of those bands that stay on my playlist. And shout out to James from Dead Set because wasn't here and he sucks. No, I'm just joking. You rock, James. But thank you again, man. And like I said, hopefully I'll get to see you out there. I definitely see y'all out there and at Set It Off Fest for sure. And
yeah, man.
Y'all be safe, man. Thanks again, man.
You too, bro. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
All right, Travis. Talk to you later, man.
All right, take it easy.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining. Sorry, it's kind of weird with the the call-ins. Let's see if I could do this right here with y'all. I don't know if I'm able to do it. Either way, thanks for joining the chat, guys. I wish I could get it back on the camera, but I can't. Hopefully that was a very good episode, as far as at least a decent episode. I mean, shit, I was nervous as hell. And I'm glad that we, was able to talk to Travis. Real big fan again. Real good guy. Go check them out. They got multiple shows coming up. And thanks again, people in the chat. I know a few of y'all's been here a few times, a few episodes so far. Thanks again for showing love. That's Lola De Nola. AB, I seen you in there earlier. Dalton, love you too, bro. Where you at? Where you been? But thanks again. This has been Brian with Local Riffs. Peace.